Two of the country's biggest gun sellers tightening their sales policies. Walmart, following a move by Dick's Sporting Goods, announcing that it will no longer sell guns to anyone under the age of 21. The news coming on the same day that President Trump encouraged lawmakers to take action, backing a Senate proposal expanding background checks on gun sales.
We're going to get this done in a bipartisan manner. I'm not even worried about 60 votes.
I think you underestimate the power of the gun lobby.
No, I'll tell you what. The reason I had lunch with the NRA on Sunday, I called them. I said, you got to come over. I said, fellas, we got to do something. And they do have great power. I agree with that. They have great power over you people. They have less power over me. I don't need it. What do I need? It takes so long to go to court, to get the due process procedures. I like taking the guns early, like in this crazy man's case that just took place in Florida. He had a lot of firearms. They saw everything. To go to court would have taken a long time. So you could do exactly what you're saying, but take the guns first, go through due process second.
There's your quote, Dagen McDowell.
I don't know how you, I don't know how as the leader of the country that you say that. Maybe he misspoke, but I listened to the whole back and forth between Vice President Pence and President Trump. And what was being discussed is something that we brought up on this program right after the shooting happened in Parkland, Florida. And that is the idea, which is happening at the state level, of gun violence restraining orders, right, of a process to go to court by a family member, a prosecutor, or a member of law enforcement to get a gun out of, or guns out of the hands of somebody who might be a threat to themselves or a threat to other people. But that is due process. That you would have to go through a legal channel to make that happen. And it seemed like the president was arguing with the vice president over this. That's when he said, take the guns first, go through due process second. And it was very clear that you need to get these guns out of the people's hands first and worry about the courts later. And that is just an utter violation of our Constitution and the Bill of Rights,
also,
the way he said it.
Any secret that this president comes into these meetings, which are, by the way, fascinating television, and we've watched them a few times on a number of different topics. I mentioned immigration earlier. Now it's on gun safety yesterday. He doesn't come into these meetings as traditionally prepared as someone else would for a meeting like that. In other words, being briefed on policy with policy papers and having read through the minutiae of the details. He kind of takes this big picture approach.
But this is not minutiae. I'm not going to defend the president on this because this is not minutiae.
No, I'm not necessarily defending him either. I'm just saying he takes a big picture, 30,000-foot approach on it and then lets everybody else fill this in. And I'm not sure that there was an understanding of a gun safety restraining order from the vice president when he was explaining it to the president and how the timing of that actually works out in terms of due process.
He should watch Mornings with Maria more often. And then he would have an understanding of what these restraining orders are about, because, again, states like California, Oregon, and even Indiana, Mike Pence's home state, and Washington State have adopted them. Do you want me to quickly go through what the president was talking about? He's opposed to the concealed carry reciprocity.
Right. We have a list of what he wants to show. Do you want to put that list up? He's expected to announce actions today, including fixing the FBI tipster program. You were saying that it's obviously also the background checks.
All right. Yesterday, what he seemed to be opposed to is including the concealed carry reciprocity agreement in any bill. He's for merging the fixing the database, the background check database, with a bill from Senators Toomey and Manchin, which is a universal background check, which would force gun shows to run background checks on people. Raising the age to 21 for buying long guns, but no due process.
But he doesn't want the reciprocity in that same bill.
He does not want that.
He wants a separate bill on the reciprocity.
Because he doesn't think that can get passed, and he may be right about that.